Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like the woman looking back at you was a stranger? Maybe your hair has thinned a little, or your waistline doesn't quite sit where it used to. Perhaps your skin shows lines and marks that weren't there before. If so, you're not alone. Every woman who crosses into her 60s and beyond faces these moments. And let's be honest, it's not always easy. Society tells us for decades that beauty is youth, that worth is tied to how smooth our skin is or how firm our body feels. But the truth is, your value runs so much deeper than the reflection in that mirror. What I want to share with you today is not about trying to look 20 again. It's about something so much more powerful, learning to embrace the changes that come with age and finding ways to love yourself exactly as you are, right here and right now. Because when you make peace with your body, you unlock a freedom and confidence that no wrinkle or gray hair could ever take away. Think about it. Your body has carried you through 6, maybe 7, even 8 decades of life. It has survived sickness, healed from wounds, carried children or grandchildren, worked long hours, and allowed you to laugh, dance, travel, and love. Every line on your face tells a story. Every scar or stretch mark is a reminder of a chapter in your journey. When we begin to see our bodies as living diaries of everything we've overcome and experienced, it becomes harder to judge them so harshly. Of course, accepting change doesn't happen overnight. Some days you might feel at peace, and other days you might feel frustrated when you notice a new ache or a pair of pants that no longer fits. That's normal. The key is to shift from fighting against these changes to working with them. For example, instead of mourning the fact that your body isn't as quick or strong as it once was, you can celebrate the fact that it still moves, still carries you on walks with friends, still bends to hug your grandchild, or still allows you to wake up every morning with the gift of another day. One of the most powerful steps to embracing your body at this stage of life is learning to treat it with kindness. And I don't just mean eating better or exercising, although those things matter too. I mean talking to yourself in a way that builds you up, not tears you down. If you've spent decades looking in the mirror and picking yourself apart, try something different. Tomorrow morning, when you catch your reflection, say one kind thing out loud. Maybe it's, "I love the sparkle in my eyes." Or, "These wrinkles show how much I've laughed in my life." At first, it might feel silly or even forced, but little by little, your mind starts to believe the words you repeat. Another important shift is letting go of comparison. It's tempting to measure yourself against younger women, or even against your own body from 20 or 30 years ago. But comparison is the quickest way to rob yourself of joy. The woman you were at 30 isn't better than the woman you are today, she's simply a different version of you. And just as you once embraced her, it's time to embrace who you are now. You may not have the same curves or smooth skin, but you have wisdom, resilience, and a sense of self that only comes with age. That is a kind of beauty no youth can match. You may also notice that your relationship with clothes has changed. Outfits that once made you feel confident might not fit the same way, or your body shape might make shopping feel frustrating. Instead of forcing yourself into styles that no longer bring joy, give yourself permission to explore new ones. Fashion is not about chasing trends, it's about expressing who you are. Choose fabrics that feel good on your skin, colors that lift your mood, and cuts that make you feel comfortable and beautiful. When you dress in a way that honors your body today, instead of clinging to what worked in the past, you begin to walk with a different kind of confidence. And let's talk about energy, because that's another area where changes are obvious. Maybe you don't have the same stamina you once did, and that can feel discouraging. But what if instead of focusing on what you can't do anymore, you shifted to what you still can? If running long distances isn't possible, maybe gentle yoga, walking in nature, or dancing in the living room still bring joy. Movement isn't about punishing your body or chasing youth, it's about giving yourself the gift of vitality and celebrating what your body can still do for you. I know, some days it might feel like your body is betraying you, especially if you live with health challenges or chronic pain. But even in those moments, you have choices. You can choose frustration, or you can choose compassion. You can say, "I hate this body," or you can say, "I thank this body for carrying me through another day, even if it feels heavy." The words you speak to yourself matter. They can either weigh you down or lift you up. Loving yourself again after 60 is not about ignoring reality, it's about facing it with grace. It's about remembering that your worth isn't measured in numbers on a scale or the size of your jeans. It's in your laughter, your stories, your kindness, and your courage. When you embrace your body as it is today, you give yourself permission to live fully, without shame holding you back. And the beauty of this is that self-love is contagious. When your children or grandchildren see you honoring yourself, they learn to do the same. You become a model of confidence and resilience for the next generation. Now, as we continue this journey together, let's look even deeper into how we can nurture this relationship with our bodies, not just with words and perspective, but with daily habits that support both our physical and emotional well-being. Because loving yourself isn't just a mindset, it's something you practice, one step at a time. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. When we start thinking about daily habits, it's important to realize that small actions add up over time. The way you treat your body, the food you choose, the way you move, even how you speak to yourself, all of these things shape how you feel about your body. And the beautiful thing is, it's never too late to make a change. Even after 60, 70, or 80, your body responds when you give it kindness and care. One of the first habits that can transform how you feel about your body is nourishing it with foods that make you feel alive. I'm not talking about strict diets or punishing yourself by giving up everything you love. That's not realistic, and it's certainly not joyful. Instead, think of food as a way of showing your body gratitude. When you fill your plate with colorful vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats, you're giving your body fuel that supports energy, strength, and even mood. And yes, that occasional piece of chocolate cake or scoop of ice cream can fit into a balanced life too. The key is enjoying it without guilt. When you eat with love and appreciation, rather than restriction and shame, you create a much healthier relationship with food and, in turn, with your body. It's also worth mentioning that your body's needs change as you age. You may notice that certain foods don't sit as well as they once did, or that your digestion feels different. Instead of ignoring these signs or forcing yourself to eat the way you always did, try listening to your body. If dairy feels heavy, experiment with lighter alternatives. If large meals leave you sluggish, try smaller portions more often. By paying attention and adjusting gently, you respect your body's signals instead of fighting against them. That simple act of listening is an expression of self-love. Alongside nourishment, movement plays such a powerful role. And let me be clear, it's not about punishing workouts or forcing yourself into routines you dread. Movement should feel like a celebration of what your body can do today, not a punishment for what it can't. Some women find joy in gentle stretching each morning, others in walking with a friend, swimming in the pool, or taking a dance class that makes them laugh. Even household activities like gardening, sweeping, or carrying groceries count as movement. The goal is not perfection, it's consistency. When you move a little every day, your joints feel looser, your energy feels brighter, and your mood often lifts. It becomes less about exercise and more about honoring the miracle of still being able to move. Another habit that makes a huge difference is rest. It might sound simple, but how often do we overlook the power of sleep? Many women in their 60s and beyond struggle with sleep, whether it's waking in the middle of the night or tossing and turning with racing thoughts. Instead of fighting it with frustration, you can create gentle rituals to signal to your body that it's time to rest. Maybe that means a warm cup of caffeine-free tea before bed, turning off screens earlier, or practicing a few minutes of deep breathing. Sleep is when your body heals, when your brain clears out stress, and when your mood resets. By making it a priority, you show your body the care it deserves. Let's also talk about skin, because this is one area where many women feel the changes most visibly. You may notice wrinkles deepening, skin thinning, or age spots appearing. It can be tempting to see these as flaws, but remember, they are signs of a life well lived. Instead of criticizing your skin, try nurturing it. Simple habits like staying hydrated, using a gentle moisturizer, and protecting yourself from too much sun can make your skin feel cared for. But beyond creams and products, it's about how you see yourself in the mirror. When you look at those lines, remind yourself, they are proof of years spent smiling, laughing, and living. That mindset shift can transform what once felt like a burden into something you embrace. Another powerful step is surrounding yourself with voices that lift you up. The people you spend time with can shape how you feel about yourself. If you're often around people who complain constantly about aging or criticize appearances, it can pull you into negativity. But when you spend time with women who celebrate life, who laugh freely, who talk about passions instead of wrinkles, you feel lighter. You realize that beauty isn't about looking young, it's about living fully. Sometimes this means finding new communities, whether it's a local group, an online circle, or simply reconnecting with friends who make you feel good. Loving yourself becomes easier when you're not doing it alone. And don't forget the power of self-expression. So many women feel invisible after 60, as if the world stops noticing them. But you don't have to fade into the background. This is the time to rediscover what makes you feel alive, whether it's painting, writing, traveling, singing, or even learning something brand new. Each time you engage in something that lights you up, your body feels more like a partner than an enemy. You stop seeing it only for how it looks and start appreciating it for what it allows you to experience. That shift brings joy back into the relationship you have with yourself. Of course, embracing body changes also means accepting that some days will be harder than others. There will be mornings when you feel stiff, afternoons when you catch yourself wishing you could look like you once did, or evenings when loneliness creeps in. But here's the truth, those moments don't erase the progress you've made. They are simply reminders to return to compassion. You don't need to be perfect in self-love, you only need to be willing to try again tomorrow. Every habit you practice, whether it's nourishing yourself with food, moving with joy, resting deeply, or surrounding yourself with uplifting people, becomes a quiet declaration, I am worthy. I am enough. I am still beautiful. And the more you repeat those declarations in your actions, the more naturally they settle into your heart. Now that we've explored these daily ways of nurturing your body and spirit, let's continue by looking at how to rebuild confidence in the parts of life where aging can sometimes make us feel small or invisible. Because loving yourself isn't only about how you eat, move, or sleep, it's also about how you show up in the world and claim your place with pride. Confidence after 60 is a different kind of confidence. It's not the kind that comes from a perfectly toned body or flawless skin. It's deeper. It's quieter. And it grows stronger when you stop worrying about how others see you and start caring about how you see yourself. The truth is, you've lived enough life to know that other people's opinions don't define you. What defines you is how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you share your kindness, and how you keep showing up for your own life, no matter your age. Sometimes, though, the world can make women over 60 feel invisible. You might notice people speaking over you, assuming you're fragile, or overlooking you in conversations. That can sting. But instead of shrinking back, this is the moment to take up space again. Speak your mind. Share your ideas. Laugh out loud in public. Wear the bright red lipstick or the bold scarf if it makes you feel good. When you stop apologizing for existing and start living unapologetically, people notice, not because you're trying to be seen, but because your energy shines in a way that can't be ignored. Another powerful way to build confidence is to keep learning. It doesn't matter if you're picking up a new hobby, exploring technology, or trying your hand at something you always wanted to do but never had time for. When you challenge yourself to learn, you prove to yourself that age hasn't closed the door on possibility. Every new skill, no matter how small, adds a layer of self-trust. You start to see your body and mind not as things that are winding down, but as partners still capable of growth. That shift changes everything. Relationships also play a role in how we see ourselves. This stage of life often brings transitions, children moving away, friends moving on, or even the loss of a partner. Those changes can leave you feeling uncertain, and sometimes it's easy to fall into the trap of believing you're less valuable when you're alone. But your worth has never depended on who stands beside you. It comes from within. If you're surrounded by loving family and friends, cherish that. If your circle has grown smaller, take this time to strengthen the relationship you have with yourself. Enjoy your own company. Take yourself out for coffee, spend time walking in nature, or curl up with a good book. The more comfortable you become in your own presence, the more confident you feel in every other part of life. It also helps to let go of old rules. For decades, society may have told you what women should look like, how they should behave, or what they should want. But once you reach 60 and beyond, the only should that matters is whether it feels true to you. If you want to cut your hair short, do it. If you want to let it go gray, wear it proudly. If you want to dress in bright patterns or dance barefoot in your living room, go for it. There is a freedom that comes when you stop chasing expectations and start living by your own terms. That freedom is the foundation of real self-love. And let's not forget gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's slipping away with age, youthful looks, physical speed, certain abilities. But when you pause each day to notice what you still have, your perspective shifts. Maybe you write down 3 small things you're thankful for every night before bed. It could be as simple as, I enjoyed a good laugh today, or my knees let me walk to the park, or I felt the warmth of the sun on my face. These moments remind you that your body, even with its changes, continues to give you gifts every single day. Gratitude turns what you have into enough, and often into more than enough. Of course, self-love isn't a destination you arrive at one day and never leave. It's a practice. Some days you'll feel radiant and strong. Other days you might feel tired or unsure. That's human. The key is not to give up on yourself when those days come. Instead, offer yourself the same compassion you would give to someone you love deeply. If your best friend came to you feeling insecure, you wouldn't criticize her, you'd remind her of her worth. You deserve that same tenderness from yourself. By embracing your body as it is, nurturing it with daily habits, and stepping into the world with renewed confidence, you create a ripple effect that goes far beyond your own life. You show your daughters, granddaughters, and the younger women around you that aging isn't something to fear, it's something to honor. You become living proof that beauty doesn't fade with age, it simply changes form. And in many ways, it becomes richer, more meaningful, and more inspiring. So if you've ever stood in front of the mirror and sighed at what you saw, I hope you know this: the woman staring back is worthy of love, not someday when she loses a few pounds, not if she erases a few wrinkles, not if she looks younger, but today, exactly as she is. She has earned every line, every curve, every mark of time. And when she smiles, the whole world lights up. If this message resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences in the comments, because your story could inspire another woman who needs to hear that she's not alone. And if you found comfort or encouragement here, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue building a space where women over 60 are celebrated, supported, and uplifted. Here's to embracing every change, to finding joy in the woman you are today, and to living with confidence, grace, and love at any age. You are more than enough. You always have been. And you always will be.